4-0.
All right, I think we're good here.
Well, our people don't mind about the cursing. I just don't want them to say anything that.
340 to 1.
Sorry, I made your job more difficult. I'm very stressful.
No. It's nothing you did. I messed up the log myself.
He's over here, MF and Jansen.
Yeah, Jansen's phone must have died because he. I said, "Can you please be on call this morning?" All right.
Well, knowing him, he probably got white girl wasted last night. Yeah, Murph, the Diamond Club is the truth, man.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, whew. That was cool sitting down that low.
Yeah. So what section were you?
I was C. Yeah. I've sat, like we were talking before, I've sat everywhere in that ballpark. It just, next to the last is the suite. That's it. It's all I need.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Of course, I asked Jansen just to be on call. I think his phone died.
Yeah, it was fun for sure.
But
it's good being with my dad.
An extra spot ran by accident, so I'm just gonna copy and paste one to catch up. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we're good to go live in 2:20. So I think the board kind of corrected itself on its own. So I think we're good. I just put a wrong command in there. Yeah. Live studio manual. And then that'll click the board in and then just go with the intro and pot everything up.
Correct. And then at the end, just Fox Sports News, the fact that they want to run when you're done.
Yes, I got that. All right. I'll talk to you. Thanks. All right, 145. And Murph, I have it set up that you should hear the intro and everything.
Okay.
And yes, I fixed the intro. Sorry about that.
All good. Hey, I am hearing myself on a second delay coming back through my phone.
It's probably because I have you in queue on the board. Once we go live and I take you out of queue, we should be good.
Okay. I mean, I could deal with it regardless.
And Sam's going to take Murph off mute, right? Once we go live, Sam?
No, you can't. That's when you're going to start hearing double.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we can catch it on here. So.
I'll talk loud.
Talk yeah.
Sorry, that's the only. I can take it off you, but then I think we're going to hear double circle.
All right. I need to add something.
Played 20 NBA seasons. Also this week in 1989 at the NFL Draft, UCLA quarterback Troy Aikman is the first pick by the Dallas Cowboys. He would win the Super Bowl 3 times for Dallas. And we'll stick with football in the NFL Draft. This week in 2004, Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning is the first pick by the Saints.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
Eli had stated that he'd rather go to law school than play for the Chargers.
Oh.
He traded to the Giants for their pick, Phillip Rivers.
And that's just some of what happened this week in sports history.
All right, we're coming in. Intro's going to play.
You ready?
Presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
Okay. We're not.
Summer Sundays are meant for freshly cut grass, ballpark dogs, and the best baseball talk you can find. So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Greg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Sack break down your fighting Phils and take you around the league right now on Baseball Brunch.
Good morning, Philadelphia. Welcome to Bud Light Baseball Brunch, powered by Green Legion Radio, live here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler in Philadelphia. Download that iHeartRadio app and you can listen to us anywhere, crystal clear, worldwide. We are off to a hot start this morning as Slash is throwing his hat here in the studio. He's got some sweaty, fuzzy hair going on right now. Bedhead, as they would say.
Sweaty. Come on.
You look fantastic, Slash, but no better than my man Murph. Murph, what's up, buddy? Good morning to you.
Studio. I know what that must be like. All those new buttons that are there in front of you, and you're not exactly sure which one to push. He is getting us on the air and doing a great job. So kudos to him.
I'm lucky so far to click the right button, so.
Yeah.
Well, we get lucky every week, so that that's the way it works.
Murph is joining us. Actually, Slash and myself, we are in the brand new 102.5 Fox Sports English studios here in Bala Cynwyd at 2 Bala Plaza. This place is legit. I mean, these got big screen TVs all over the place in here. The sound system is fantastic. I think I sound a lot better than I did at any point last season, Murph. Regardless of where we were, this is awesome equipment here, and appreciate Sean and Jansen. I'm just going to include Jansen just for the hell of it because you bothered him enough this morning. Yeah. But appreciate you guys having us here to do the show here this morning. And Murph is home. He's hanging out over there in Mantua, right? So for those of you that want to try and find Murph, he lives in Mantua, New Jersey. So you got all you ladies out there. He is taken, but at least now where you can stalk him.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be lined up on the front lawn any minute now. I'm slightly under the weather this weekend, so appreciate you letting me dial in from home.
Anytime, Murph. It wouldn't be the same without you. So, we don't want to miss a show with you at all, you or me. We always want to keep it together. Although I hate to say it, I think I'm going to have to miss a show in June, the day after my brother's wedding. I don't think I'm gonna be in good enough shape to come from Atlantic City to wherever we're supposed to be broadcasting. You might be doing a show with Jansen in June, so just giving you a heads up.
That is understood and would be just fine.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with Mr. Brain and Barrel himself.
Is it fun?
Actually, maybe we'll just let Slash ride shotgun on that one. Yeah, we could spare you Jansen for sure.
Possibilities.
Hey, this segment of Bud Light Baseball Brunch is brought to you by our good friends at State Farm. You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Dave Bavuso will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Dave Bavuso at 856-740-5012 today. That's 856-740-5012. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. Just a real quick side here, gentlemen. I'd like to wish a happy birthday, happy 6th birthday to my oldest son, Jacob. He turned 6 on Monday. And as I was writing up the run sheet this morning, my wife gave me a hard time because she's like, you didn't wish me a happy birthday on the show last week. And I said, well, we recorded on Saturday and your birthday was on Wednesday. I would have felt odd by doing that. So I'd like to wish a happy belated birthday to my wife as well. Apple of my eye, Jacob, love you to death, and my wife, I guess you're okay. So,
happy birthday to both.
Hey, Drew, before we go out of the box here, Murph, we got a ticket giveaway. We didn't do it last week, but we're back with it this week. Giving away 2 tickets for the Phillies-Rangers game on Tuesday, May 3rd at 6:45, Hatfield Phillies Frank Dollar Dog Night. In order to win, you must answer in the comment section of the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page, or our Twitter handle at Green Legion. Let's keep it simple this week, gentlemen. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Quick sidebar before we dive into the real crux of the matter, which is our Philadelphia Phillies. And I see Mike Davis, who I think won tickets off of us 3 or 4 times last year. Mike Davis is in the room, so I'm sure he's trying to, get a nice pair of tickets for this upcoming, not after this homestand, the homestand after that. So, gentlemen, let's keep it simple here. Favorite movie of the 1990s?
Yeah, you know what? I made a list of 5, okay? And this is how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to reveal the list of 5 right now.
Titanic on it?
What's that?
Is Titanic on the list?
Titanic is not on the list because I've never seen that movie. So how would I know? Although I do know how it ends, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, my dad says the same thing all the time. He's like, why would I have to see the movie? I know how it ends. The ship sinks.
Your dad is a bright man. That's exactly what I think too. I got 5. So if you're on my list of 5, you're going to get my vote. and then I'll review.
No. What are you doing? No, you give 5. 5 are gone.
Huh?
There is no vote because then they're going to start chirping in with your 5.
Well, that's what I mean. I know what I'm saying. I'm not giving them now.
They're canceled. They're off the list.
They gotta wait. So we'll see what people say, and then I'll give you mine when we reveal the tickets.
Well, why don't you give me one? Just give me. It doesn't have to be in your top 5. Just give me one movie from the 90s.
Well, all right. I'll give you my 5th one. How's that?
There you go.
Jurassic Park. Number 5.
Jurassic Park. Solid movie. Definitely love Jurassic Park. I'm going to go with The Matrix. I'm not going to take anything as far as like a big time home run hitter at the top of the list in the 1990s, but I love The Matrix. Like the first one was fantastic. The second one, the action was phenomenal, but that was a few years later. The third one was confusing as hell. And then they did the reboot recently, which I enjoyed. If you're a Matrix fan, it was fun to have Trinity and Neo back together again. Slash, what do you got for me?
I got Dumb and Dumber.
Yes,
because it's my favorite movie of all time.
Yes,
that would count then. Yeah,
it's the most quotable movie in my life.
Circa Day 1993, I believe it was.
I use so many lines from that movie. No, wow, big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
All right.
I just rewatched that movie with my 2 sons not too long ago. Very funny.
Still funny to my VHS watching that movie for like the 99th time.
Do you still have a VHS?
No, this was like 10 years ago.
So, okay, all right.
Which still is outdated for the VHS, but you get what I'm getting.
And Sam is saying Clueless. Sam's not going to jump in and say hers, but she loves Clueless. As if, Sam, as if. All right, speaking of as if, let's get out of the box here. Since we were last together during our recording on Saturday morning, for last Sunday's show, the Phillies have gone 3-4 in that stretch. They've showed some promise, but they've also shown, what they've shown the first couple weeks of the season for sure. Yeah. Murph, I want to start it out here, because I think the most important thing, the most paramount thing for this season right now is the status of Zach Wheeler. Are we getting closer to seeing the real Zach Wheeler? Being at the game on Saturday with my dad, as we were talking about before we came on air, I sat Diamond Club, and there's so many perks and benefits of sitting in Diamond Club. And, one of them is the fact that you get to see the scoreboard system where you get to see what pitch they're throwing, how fast they're throwing it at. And then, Todd Zalecki, who does a fantastic job with MLB.com, he broke down a lot of the stuff, here for us. 96, he averaged 96 on his fastball. He topped out at 97 a couple of times during the course of the game. He looked good through the first 4 innings. And then, as you can see on my run sheet here, Murph, me and my dad had noticed, I felt like the defense kind of let him down in a couple scenarios there. The ball to left field with Schwarber, for a big guy like that, man, that was a terrible throw to the plate. Anybody with a better arm would have gunned him out at the plate or made him think about staying at third. And then JT, the runner's on first and third, and he tries to get the guy at second. But even then, I thought there was a like in his mind, but do I want to throw this or do I not want to throw this? And he was kind of half-hearted in it, and that's what led to another run scoring. Girardi came out, looked like he was going to pull him, but then he gave him a vote of confidence, and that was probably the worst one I've ever seen, Murph, where the manager comes out and he leaves the ace in. There was no reception, there was no ovation at all. Like, yeah, we get to keep wheels in the game. Yeah, like there was no reaction to it at all. But I was happy to see him averaging 96, hitting 97. What makes Zach Wheeler special is when he can hit 99 to 100. I still feel like maybe these first few starts are an extended spring training for him. He's actually seen major league hitters for the first time this year. But what's your thought on this? Do you think we're going to get closer to triple digits with Wheeler sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I don't think triple digits. I mean, I think he's going to touch triple digits for sure at some point this season. But, if he's averaging in that 97 range, that's where Zach Wheeler is Zach Wheeler, I think, touching 98 with his fastball regularly through the first 5, 6 innings, 7 innings sometimes. That's Zach Wheeler. And yeah, he's getting closer. And you brought up Todd Zalecki's article. I thought it was outstanding. So if you really want to get an interesting look at what Zach Wheeler did last night, certainly take a look at that. But you also mentioned the defense. And if I'm not mistaken, the leadoff hit in that inning was the double to right center field to Castellanos. almost caught but didn't catch. And I
right in the gap.
Had he taken maybe just a little bit of a different track on that, maybe he does catch that. I mean, I think he got a pretty good jump on it, but that was one of those bang plays that could have changed the inning as well. I thought he just ran out of gas, and I think it's because he's still building up. He's still getting to that point that he would have been had they had an entire spring training, and he'd come to Philadelphia, strong and 100%. So, are we getting closer to seeing Zach Wheeler? For sure. I thought yesterday was a really good sign after what we saw his previous start. What we needed to see yesterday was consistent, higher velocity. We saw that. Good command. We saw that for 4 innings. And when Joe Girardi went out there, Scott Frensky said on the air, he said, this is an important decision because he's only was at like 64 pitches at the time. And they really want to get him up to 80, 85, 90 pitches to continue to build out and continue to stretch him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they left him in. He got to 80 plus pitches. And I think if nothing else, Larry Anderson said on the postgame show, if nothing else, you lose the game, but you gain that 15 pitches for Zach Wheeler, which is only going to help him in his next start and going forward. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good start for Zach Wheeler.
I kind of felt that way too after the Marlins game last Sunday with him, Murph, because a lot of people were like, well, why did Girardi leave him in for as long as he did and let him take his lickings the way that he did? You have to stretch him out. I mean, this isn't like spring training where you can go out there, you can throw 50 pitches, you can get roughed up, and then you can go right to the bullpen and throw 20, 25. This is the big leagues now. This is not spring training anymore. This is during the course of the season. Like, the best thing that you have to do is, man, if I have to lay him out there and hang him out to dry for a couple innings, more than what he can give me, I have to take that risk. I have to allow him to stretch himself out a little bit further. And I think Wheeler understood that too with that game. I mean, he only threw 3 innings, but he got roughed up pretty good. Yeah, and
Zach wants to stay in the game no matter what. So he certainly understands. I think all in all, it certainly was the right decision to keep him in there. And look, the Phil's offense, you believe is going to bounce back and score a couple more runs. They didn't, but you certainly had that belief midway through the game. So, yeah, I was encouraged, and I think next start we'll look for improvements off of that.
Sam is earning her money today for sure on the message board because people aren't staying within the rules. You get one 1990s movie, one. So stay within the rules. And it doesn't have to be the best 1990s movie. It just has to be your favorite. And then we get to pick between that. So, guys, make Sam's life a little bit easier there on the message board. Running on to the next part of the run sheet here, Murph, I'm looking at Bryce Harper. He's taking advantage of that DH, man, but he has to. They did an MRI with him the other day. Mild strain in the flexor tendon in his right elbow. It looks like he's going to resume throwing on Tuesday. Is that a good sign? Are we looking at Tuesday we'll have him back in the field, or is it he's going to resume throwing on Tuesday and we'll probably see him back in the field in Queens next weekend?
I think it's probably closer to the latter. I'd be surprised, I think, if he threw on Tuesday and they said, okay, you're back in there. I could be wrong. We talked to him on Monday when we got back from the road trip. Talked to him on Monday, and the idea that he's able to stay in the lineup as the DH, it really changes everything. You don't have to rush him back into the field. I don't know. Castellanos maybe a step below Bryce, maybe a step and a half below Bryce in right field in terms of a defensive player. But I don't think you're losing all that much by having Castellanos out there. So the idea of risking Bryce's elbow to get his defense out there is really kind of silly. So I think they're going to be very careful. They don't have to put him on the injured list. It doesn't bother him when he hits. We've seen that. He swung the bat pretty well over the last couple of days.
We haven't seen that for sure.
but
he ripped that double in the first inning yesterday. I mean, it was what elbow injury? Yeah.
So I think they're going to be very careful with him. If he goes out on Tuesday and has zero pain and feels great, yeah, maybe we see him Tuesday or Wednesday. But if he, experiences any kind of discomfort in that elbow, they're just going to hold him out, and which is what they should do, and give him as much rest as they can. So it'll have been a week that since he has thrown. So we'll see. Hopefully there is less pain.
Any update on Didi? I know not a lot of fans right now are clamoring for him to be in the lineup because Bohm has been playing so well, and Camargo has been, man, not just swinging a hot bat, he's been picking it too over there at shortstop as well. But Didi could be a big part of this lineup if he can kind of return to his 2020 form and beyond that. What's going on with his hand? And he's missed the last few games. Are we expecting him back in the lineup on Sunday night, or is this another thing where it's going to go day to day? Because you got a 10-day IL. This isn't the old days where it was the 15-day disabled list. 10 days isn't a long stretch. They could have had another man on the roster if they needed it, and maybe another pitcher in the bullpen. But what's your thought? What are you hearing about Didi? Can we expect him back over the next day or two?
Yeah, we're getting daily updates. Basically, he had a little swelling in that hand. Obviously nothing broken, which was the good news. But swelling is an issue for Didi, which we learned last year. When he does get some inflammation in his body, it takes him a while to kind of get rid of that inflammation. So that's kind of where they're at right now. I know on what's today? No, today's Sunday. I know on Friday he was gripping the bat, taking some swings in the cages just to kind of feel his grip strength. But he's a day-to-day decision at this point. And we'll find out pregame today whether or not he's in today's lineup. It's possible. Certainly, I think if he feels as though he can play, he'll be in the lineup. And what I think will happen is we'll see Camargo at maybe a different infield position to give somebody else a rest at that moment. Because Camargo's been that good, and you can do that. So it's a luxury to have everybody healthy and have Camargo being bounced around a little bit to give guys a blow here and there. So if I had to bet, I would say he's probably not in the lineup tonight. Maybe give him one more day, but we'll see. Like I said, I think if he thinks he's 100%, he'll be in there.
I want to save Bryson Stott for the other side of break. I want to touch on him, and
Okay.
I want to give a little bit more time to that instead of us rushing it in here. Also, at the same time, in the second segment, we're going to talk about around the league news and notes, just even some funny things over the first couple of weeks of Major League Baseball season here. But don't forget about Premier Window Cleaning, is the leading window cleaning company in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Family owned and operated for 30 years, they offer commercial and residential window cleaning, pressure washing, parking garage cleaning, graffiti removal, post-construction cleaning. Every employee is trained, certified, and goes through an extensive background check. At Premier Window Cleaning, your satisfaction level needs to be 100%, as no job is complete until you're happy. With clients like Lincoln Financial Field, Comcast, Chop Roberts, and University of Pennsylvania, you cannot go wrong. For more information and full list of services, give them a call at 267-534-5198. That's 267-534-5198, or head to their website, www.wehatedirtywindows.com. That's www.wehatedirtywindows.com. Again, coming up in the second segment, we're going to go around the league and we're going to talk about what's going on around Major League Baseball, and we're going to touch on Bryson Stott and what's going on with him on the active roster right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. We're at Bud Light Baseball Brunch, and we'll be right back right after this.
Hey, Slash.
You.
How's my cough button? You're not hearing me cough, right?
What's that?
You're not hearing me cough on.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that at all.
Okay. So I'm sure the folks on Streamline are hearing me cough. And I apologize for that.
You're good. Your cell service got a little spotty, I think, in the beginning, but it leveled itself out.
You know what? I can probably improve it.
I mean, it's not like we could still, hear you fine. That's just
I digitized or
just me being
The BetParks app is where odds, bets, slots, and games all come together in one amazing app. BetParks and the 76ers playoffs.
Live read for me coming back.
Yeah, Ludlam Hotel.
Got 3:30.
What song you bringing us back with, there, Slashy?
I might do Murph a little favor and play some Margaritaville.
Ooh,
What is it?
I'm gonna let you hear it once he brings it back.
All right. It'll be a surprise.
All right, guys, make sure you get your 1990s, your favorite 1990s movies in there If we have to, we'll do it towards the end of the second segment with the announcing the winner. So no rush.
Give me a quick idea of what around the league stuff you're talking about.
All right. You want me to just screenshot it to you?
Sure.
Jobs with companies begging for IT pros. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Yeah, like I said, it's some fun ones in there, but there's also some big things, big events that happen.
Big things.
Big things.
Big things. I can actually take out this. Let's take this out. So we have 30 seconds.
Sorry. So we have 30 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, 30 seconds, Murph.
And then, Murph, you'll hear the music, and then you'll know that you're potted up when you hear the music.
All right. You can keep the music underneath me when I'm reading if you like.
Oh, yeah. The whole segment?
Yeah.
Did you tell him?
No, I didn't. Here we go.
Very nice. We are happy to introduce to you for the first time the fully renovated Ludlam Hotel at 4000 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. Yes, the old La Costa. When the complete renovation finished, you will now see a brand new look, feel, and vibe set amongst a casually sophisticated bar, a cozy a la carte dining room, and the only mellow lounge in Townsend's Inlet. The menu is seasonal, offering the freshest local seafood cooked simple to ensure the flavor that already exists stays that way. The hotel is open year-round, and all guests enjoy free Wi-Fi, one free parking spot per room, and complimentary beach tags for all registered adults. Walking distance to everything. Just check out www.ludlamhotel.com. That's www.ludlamhotel.com, or call them at 609-263-7829. For all your reservations, dining, or entertainment questions, it's the Ludlam Hotel, your new oasis in Sea Isle City.
All right. Welcome back here to Bud Light Baseball Brunch on this beautiful Sunday here in the Delaware Valley. I feel like we're starting to get out of the freeze of winter as it continues to pass us by. But gosh, yes, exactly.
See?
You know,
Jimmy will do that to you.
Sit on that pop top, get ready for it for sure here. But man, what a fun time it's been over the last couple weeks here, having baseball back, having full ballparks back. The city of Philadelphia telling the mayor to stick his indoor mask mandate after 4 days. Fantastic life we live here in the Delaware Valley for sure. Hey, so let's continue our Phillies talk here, and then we're just going to go for a few minutes on it. Bryson Stott right now, he's only pinch hit. On Tuesday, his last start was last Saturday. We went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, which culminated in 0 for 12 stretch that he had. And it also doesn't help his cause that Alec Boehm and Johan Camargo have been playing so well. Are we looking at here coming up, Murph? Because remember, May 1st, we're dropping from 28. They expanded the rosters for the first month of the season because of the shortened spring training. So it's going to go from 28 to 26. At the start of this, you would have thought that they would have been taking two of these long relievers that were backing up Ranger Suarez and Zach Wheeler and sending them back down to the minors. I'm starting to see from 28 to 26, we might be looking at Stott going down to AAA at the beginning of May. He's not a bench player. He needs to play every day if we're going to maximize his potential. So I think we're getting to that point probably in about a week or so here, Murph.
Well, honestly, I'd be surprised if that's the move they make on May 1st, especially if Didi's not 100%. But yeah, is it possible? For sure, it's possible because I agree with you. He's a guy that needs to swing the bat, more often than not to stay consistent and be consistent. He's never been a bench player before. And that's what you see with a lot of these young guys that are prospects, really good prospects, top prospects. They come up to the big leagues and they're, bench players to start. It's a tough gig. It's a tough gig for veteran guys to be a bench player in the big leagues. Asking a young player to do it is a very difficult thing. So is it possible that we'll see that? in the near future? Yeah, I think it is. But I think Joe Girardi also would rather try to get him some at bats in the next couple of days to see if they can get him out of this mini slump that he's in to start the season.
Okay, so a lot of it, and I agree with you. So a lot of it has to do with if Didi is healthy or not, because
Sure.
I guess we'll see where we're at with him over the next week. I think Camargo has played so well, and he's earned having starting time for sure. The thing is I think Camargo is better in that super utility role to where you can use him in multiple positions. And the good thing is Bohm has been able to field his position. He made a nice play along the third baseline on Saturday where he had no shot on throwing the runner out at first base, but he was able to hold the runner to third. Make the simple plays, keep the ball in front of you. I think if Bohm can do that, I think we'd agree that, man, like you wouldn't mind seeing him starting over there. You could feel more comfortable with him down there at third base. I know you said last week that Bobby Dickerson's been working with him every single day. He's been taking hundreds of ground balls every day.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting? I'm glad you brought that up. The play you're talking about that he made to end the first inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. I guess
was that Ranger Suarez on Friday, right?
I have no idea what day it is, so yeah, bear with me. But yeah,
if we're together, it's Sunday, Murph. If we're together, it's normally Sunday.
I guess that should be a clue. Although we were together last Saturday, so don't confuse.
I said most times.
But the play you're talking about, if you go back and watch it, he takes a step towards the line and moves up, and he catches that ball with his glove, moving forward and pushing, up and out to grab that ball, to get it on the hop that he wants, right? And then he's able to step on third base and the inning's over. That is a drill that Bobby Dickerson and he work on every single day. The idea of catching that ball out in front and catching it with the glove moving forward towards the ball to get the hop that he wants. It's almost identical to what we see each and every day before the game. And to see him make that play, I looked at Scott and Larry in the booth and I said, there it is. That's what he's been doing. That's what he's been working on. So that was really great to see. And that was a tough play. In a big moment, he made the play. But you said it. I mean, Sec, all they need him to do is make the routine plays as much as possible. Look, is he going to have errors over the course of the season? Of course he is. Everybody is. But they need him to make the routine plays much more often than not. And if he's able to do that and keep swinging the bat, that's all Alec Bohm needs to be. And I think he's starting to understand that. And I think he's starting to feel really comfortable in his own skin up here in the big leagues once again. So that's a really good sign.
Absolutely. And that's what we need. These young kids, we need the Bohms and the Stotts to come and play and contribute. And, my dad was saying yesterday, and this is just a quick sidebar here, watching the team play. And he looked at me and he's like, I look back on that stretch with the Phillies when they, that 07 to 2011. But I always correct everybody about that. Like, to me, it was the decade. It was 2001 to 2011. They were in it every single year to the end of the season, the last week of the season. And my dad was saying, he's like, we're never going to see that ever again. Probably not in my lifetime. He's like, maybe in your lifetime, you'll see it again. But he's like, that team, they knew how to play situational baseball. They knew how to run the bases. They could play defense. He's like, this team right here, he's like, there's a lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks. You're going to get days where they put up 10, 12 runs, but then, you're going to get, shut out or 1 or 2 the next day, the next couple days. He's like, it's inconsistency. And I said to him, I was like, what made that team special too was how you watched a lot of them come up individually and fail, and then learn how to become big leaguers and succeed. And then, the team failed together. And then when they got over the hump in 07, and then we made the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. And then, you get into the playoffs and you're swept out in 3 games. And it's like, we're never going to let that happen again. We're going to be better because of this. And, but those guys, like, you saw them come up as kids. The guys that we have now are hired guns. They came in big money, big contracts. And, I love the fact that they're here. Don't get me wrong at all. But it's so hard sometimes for, certain baseball fans to buy in, into a team because, you're not, with a Stott and a Bohm, they were drafted here and they've been bred here, and you want to see them succeed. I think if you see the success with those guys, along with the guys that we brought in, the Bryces and the Castellanos and the Schwarbers, it just makes this era of Phillies baseball, it just makes it that much more enjoyable if it's the kids that you actually saw grow, fail, because Bohm has failed. He failed here last year and the beginning portion of this year, and Stotts, went through his struggles here early on in the big leagues. Man, I just think if these guys just pan out and become something special, it's just going to make everybody's lives so much easier and watching the game so much better.
I agree with you. I think you need both. You certainly need young players that come through your system, and then you drop in the hired guns, and I think that's how you have sustained excellence over the course of a long period of time. It's starting to happen for the Phillies. You look down in their minor league system. They have a couple of guys, especially arms.
Andrew Painter.
Andrew Painter. I mean, you look at him. I mean, he's outstanding so far. He's exactly what everyone's projected him to be. He's down there in Clearwater right now playing for the Threshers. So there are guys down there that over the next couple of years will be coming up to join these guys. And whether we'll see a decade of sustained excellence remains to be seen. But I feel pretty confident with the guys that are in the front office now making those decisions and drafting the talent and making the trades. So, it's possible. It's possible. So hopefully your dad will get a chance to see, that and much more over the course of the next 30, 40 years, because that's what I'm giving him.
You're giving my dad 30 to 40 years?
Yeah,
don't tell him that. All right, so let's talk around the league, Murph. Let's have a little bit of fun here. So we didn't get to it last week, but the hot topic from the week before, the first week of the season, was Clayton Kershaw. 7 perfect innings in his first start of the season, and Dave Roberts pulled him after 80 pitches. I'll tell you before I go to you for it, I get your opinion. I had no problem with it. I thought what Dave Roberts did was he did it's a solid to a star player who might be sitting there trying to achieve a personal goal, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy during the course of 162. He did it during the shortened season of 60 games during the pandemic. He was able to finish that season, but a lot of people were able to finish 60 games. But last year he missed the playoffs. What he's trying to do is he's trying to preserve his arm for later in the season. Now, do we know he's going to get hurt if he throws 20 or 30 more pitches? We don't know that. But I had no problem with what he did. I know a lot of people had issues with it. The game could use it. There's only 22 perfect games in the history of the game. They could use the notoriety for it. But for me, I had no problem with Dave Roberts saving Clayton Kershaw from himself.
Here's my take on that situation. Clayton Kershaw had no problem with it. So no one else's opinion matters at all. After the game, Clayton Kershaw said, "I was done." Dave Roberts came out and he said, "Yeah, take me out." I mean, if the pitcher understands his body enough to know, hey, I'd love to throw a perfect game, but it's not happening today, then everybody else's opinion doesn't matter on the subject, in my opinion. You can not like it, and it can still be the right call. So that's the way I see it.
So I sent you the list here of what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to skip around things that are a little bit more prevalent here.
I'm very flexible.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you could stretch your arm over the back of your head. Good job. Hey, all right. So attendance issues continue to get worse in Oakland. Okay, 3,748 on Tuesday, 2,703 the next night. Major League Baseball continues to talk about expansion, Nashville and going back to Montreal and perhaps Vegas. I don't understand the thoughts about expansion when you have two teams that play in absolute dumps and the fan bases don't show up to support them, and you're talking about bringing in a 31st and a 32nd Major League Baseball franchise. If anything, you need to find new homes for these teams, either in their current locations by giving them new stadiums, or you have to put them someplace else where they can succeed and actually, have a fan base that's going to support them. What's your thought on this as far as the A's and the Rays are concerned?
Yeah, I agree with you. Expansion to me at this time doesn't feel like the right decision. There's a lot of mediocrity throughout baseball right now, and I think expanding and adding, 60 new ball players in two new cities. I mean, sure, there'll be excitement around that kind of thing, but no, when there's franchises like Oakland that's seeing what's coming through the gate in Tampa, I think you need to fix those problems first. I agree with you. I'm sure there's much, much more to it than what we know and understand. However, at the end of the day, if there's cities that are vying for Major League Baseball teams in a free market, it would make sense to say, well, hey, what can you offer the Oakland A's, or what can you? And it would be a shame to see Oakland lose their franchise or Tampa lose a franchise. But if you're not going to support it as a community, that's the risk you run. So, I think the scenario of non-expansion and trying to find a better spot for these teams is the right call.
And real quick, congratulations here to Miguel Cabrera achieving 3,000 hits. 33rd member of the 3,000 hit club, 7th with 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. For me, he's one of the best players of the generation. And for me, a guy that I've gotten to see from start to finish. At the beginning of his career with the Marlins as an 18-year-old kid in 2003, coming up and winning the World Series that year, and taking Detroit to where they were during the course of those years, back-to-back MVPs, a triple crown for the first time in 45 years since Carl Yastrzemski did it. What a phenomenal talent, and what a good dude. Just absolute, he's not one of those guys, that you sit there and you go, man, I really wish he would fail. I've always had that in my head where I'm like, I want Miggy to succeed. He's just a fantastic baseball player and an even better dude. And you can see by how his teammates responded, and not just the teammates, the way the Rockies responded to him as well when he was able to do that. Just an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Had a conversation with Dave Dombrowski Tuesday night on the pregame show, and I asked him, Dave Dombrowski signed him as a international free agent and brought him to Florida at the time when Dave was there, and then moved on to Detroit, and then brought him to Detroit. And obviously, there's a lot of pride from Dave Dombrowski in watching what Miguel Cabrera has done over his career. I've had an opportunity to interview Miguel a couple of times. He is a class act. He is exactly how you described him. He's a good guy that people root for. And I have a hard time thinking in the last 15 years if I've seen a better pure hitter than Cabrera. I mean, it's hard to argue that you have, because he's in such rare company when you look at his numbers. So, yeah, kudos to him. It was awesome to watch. And we're going to get to watch him for a little bit longer. And every baseball fan should enjoy that, because you're watching greatness is just so much fun.
And I would be remiss real quick before we do go to break here, not to mention that the Yankees fans were throwing themselves on the field at the end of the game against the Guardians on Saturday. And yes, when I say themselves, I mean trash, because what they did, that scene at the end of that game was just complete chaos. It was unnecessary. If you want to get into verbal spars and verbal jabs with the players all day, go for it. But there is never a time and place in any sporting event, in any arena, for you to throw anything on the field. So if you want to go ahead and do something like that, and again, I'm calling you guys trash. Throw yourselves on the field and let the players handle you accordingly at that time.
My reaction to that is the same reaction I have every time a fan misbehaves. There are idiots everywhere.
Everywhere.
There are idiots in every fan base. There are idiots in middle of America and on the West Coast and down in Texas, here in Philadelphia and up in Boston. And
Europe.
It's something we're really never going to be able to get out of sports. It's just going to be a part of it, because there's alcohol and there's idiots. And when you mix the two, you generally get mini chaos. The only frustration I have in all of this is that if this had happened in Philadelphia, it would have been, on the national news. And I am an advocate for the Philadelphia fan, and I say they are no different and anywhere else. I've seen it everywhere. It was embarrassing for the Yankee fans. It'll be embarrassing for the next franchise that does it, because it will happen again in the next couple of weeks. And just hopefully nobody gets hurt, and hopefully it stops happening. But I don't believe it will.
I agree with you. This segment was brought to you by the Ludlam Hotel. Check them out at www.ludlamhotel.com. That's LUDLAM hotel.com, or call them at 609-263-7829. That's 609-263-7829. Coming up in our final segment here on this beautiful Sunday in the Delaware Valley, we're going to do Can You Believe It? We're going to do our Sunday daily picks, and we're going to announce our winner for your favorite 1990s movie right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. We'll be right back right after these messages. Sweet.
Murph, did you get my text?
No.
Is he there?
He is. Yeah, I think he's looking at his phone.
It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com.
Sorry, I jumped my text.
Oh, no,
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right for now. It was just going in and out in the middle of that segment, but we can only do what we can do.
Yeah.
It's all good. We got 2 minutes here.
It's all good. I mean, there's certain spots. That's the reason why I did Ludlam Hotel. I kind of gave him a little bit of a, plug there at the end with the number and the email address.
Okay.
Good work.
Doesn't hurt to throw them out there again.
No, absolutely not. In fact, that's what we should be doing.
Well, yeah, that should be the extent of it, right?
Yeah.
The old Acosta.
I mean,
I honestly think Quimby's the one writing these things.
I
could see him.
If they're tighter, they're more effective, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But no,
right, so we
drop them in there at the end.
Yeah. When we come back, I'll do a live read for Green Legion. That way we can get in, because the schedule's going to be released on, what was it, May 14th or May 12th?
May 14th.
Nah, May 14th is a Saturday. They're not doing it on a Saturday.
What I just got hung up on?
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.com.
Guys.
Yeah, he's there.
I think my phone
Did
just
you
got
move
hung
on
up
the phone?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you did.
May 12th.
May 12th. There's something in here.
Zach, are you hearing me?
Oh. He said call him back.
Yeah, I'm just throwing something in the bus. Couple minutes here.
How much time we got?
I just added a minute 30, so
we going out at 57?
Yeah, it's fine. You give me his number again. 856-217 something. Actually, I think I have it. 0174.
To this week in sports history. We'll start off in 1912. Fenway Park opens in Boston with the Red Sox beating the Yankees 7-6 in 11 innings. Tiger Stadium.
Hey, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. I just added another spot, so we got minute 15.
Now known as Wrigley Field. And they beat
that was weird.
7-6. Jumping ahead this week in 1965, the Boston Celtics scored 42 points on a record.
Yeah, who are these idiots with their link streams on here on the message board?
I'm not even in there.
Here's the link for the stream. Sports Life 26. What a bunch of losers.
All right, so I'm going to come back with a song.
Assholes. Yeah, that's right. Delete them out, Sam. Kick them out.
Murph, see if you can figure out why I'm playing this song.
All right. Buffett was a great call, by the way.
Yeah. It was on the baseball brunch wall page, so,
Yeah, well, I'm a huge Buffett guy in the Ludlam Hotel. I mean,
yeah, it's perfect. I didn't even know you were doing that read either.
Look at Sam chiming in with her comments on expansion. When too many teams are in a small area that are underpopulated with sports fans, you can very torn fan base. I think the Philadelphia, North Jersey, New York gets away with it because it's so densely popular. Unless that's Diaz chiming in.
We will be coming back.
Tell Diaz to go back to crying over the Sixers. The Green Legion, make sure you prepare yourself for another round of great football destinations this season with Chicago, Arizona, Indy, and Houston all on the schedule. NFL plans to release dates on May 12th. That's right, everybody. May 12th, prime time that evening. They're going to be announcing the dates and where we're going to be going next season for sure with the Green Legion. So be prepared soon after that for packages to be released. If you want to ensure a spot on a trip, we are accepting $150 fully refundable early bird deposits, and we'll do so through April. If you are interested in attending any of our road trips this season, call the office at 215-666-5940. That's 215-666-5940, or go to greenlegion.com. Bud Light Baseball Brunch here on Sunday morning. I'm Chris Sack of Green Legion Radio, alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Greg Murphy, Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy. Let me highlight that one for you.
Any idea why I'm playing Hey 19 by Steely Dan?
I want to know. It's a great song.
19 years ago today, what happened, Greg Murphy? Do you know?
19 years ago today.
Well, it was Chase Utley hitting a grand slam for his first major league hit.
There you go.
What does Steely Dan have to do with it? You didn't play Kashmir.
Hey 19.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It was on. I could have done
Hey, I like it. I like the logic.
It's okay. It's a great tune.
I was thinking out of the box.
Ooh. Maybe we should do it. Make a sounder for Out of the Box with Steely Dan.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Murph, let's go ahead. We got a lot to jam in here over the next less than 10 minutes. So let's go ahead. Let's pick our winner here for the 1990s movie.
Okay.
Again, these two tickets are going to be for Dollar Dog Night against the Rangers on Tuesday, May 3rd, 6:45 at Citizens Bank Park. These are the 7 selections that we have to choose from. Happy Gilmore, A Few Good Men, Shawshank Redemption, Heat, American Pie, Saving Private Ryan, or The Sandlot. Again, no Titanic. I'm so disappointed.
All right, so two of
Godzilla's
those are on my list, and I missed A Few Good Men because that would have been on my list for sure. So kudos to A Few Good Men. But if I'm going off of my list, someone did pick my number one, and that was Shawshank. It's the movie I can't not watch when I'm flipping through. To me, one of the best movies ever made. So Shawshank Redemption would be my vote.
What's 2, 3, and 4, real quick?
I have Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I would put A Few Good Men as number 3. I missed that one. Forrest Gump and Good Will Hunting. Kind of like that one.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Good Will Hunting got screwed the year because they were in the same year as Titanic for the Academy Awards. They were nominated by so much, but they got hosed on that end for sure. Listen, my personal go-to at all times is always American Pie. So I gotta go with American Pie, which means Slash, you're the tiebreaker. Shawshank Redemption or American Pie?
I gotta go Shawshank.
Saving
Private Ryan would have been mine, though. That's fantastic, greatest war movie of all time.
So Sam is going to post who the winner is with Shawshank Redemption. We'll announce your name before the end of the program here. All right, Murph, it's Sunday. It's our pick segment. You were 2-1 last week in our first week of action. I was 0-3. 0-3, as Donovan McNabb would say. I'm embarrassed, but I'm ready to rebound this week. I'm ready to come back stronger. Yeah, flush it and move on, Jalen. So, Murph, why don't you start me out? What do you got for this week?
All right. I'll start off with taking an underdog. First time of the year. Red Sox and Rays playing this afternoon. I don't know why. I like the Red Sox to win this game. They're getting a 1.5. So I'm taking the Red Sox with the 1.5.
Wow.
Over the Rays.
We didn't do that at all last year. Not once did we take a plus 1.5. I think maybe 1 or 2 we did minus 1.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. All right, cool. My first one for this week This doesn't smell right. Remember last year I had that underdog pick. It was like, with the Diamondbacks, they had lost like 13 in a row, and I picked them to win that Sunday. This one doesn't smell right to me. Yankees, Guardians. I feel weird saying Guardians, by the way. Under 7, plus 100, okay? Garrett Cole's starting today. In his first 3 starts, he has a 6.35 ERA. And then Savali, 6.14 ERA through his first 2 starts. Why is this a 7? They want you to bet the over on this game. I'm going to take under 7 for this one.
You know what? I saw that, and I had the exact same reaction as you, and I would have made the same pick as you as the under. So I like that pick on your part.
I'm glad to have your endorsement.
Yeah, well, you need it. I mean, over 3, my goodness. Hop on, brother.
Yes. I'm riding the wave.
All right, next one. I know you're going to like this pick because I'm picking your boy, Adam Wainwright, who you rode his coattails last year, I know, for quite a few. Cardinals versus the Reds. The Reds are 2-13. I do not expect them to be 3-13 when this one is all said and done. I'm taking the Cardinals, minus 145, Adam Wainwright.
I'm not going to say anything further on that one because I have it as well. The Reds have lost 11 in a row. I got the line at minus 144. I'm riding Adam Wainwright to complete the sweep and push that losing streak for the Reds to 12. I know it doesn't help my cause, but it also doesn't hurt my cause by having this selection this week. So right. We're both going with the Cardinals for sure. And your last pick.
All right, my last one's a lock. So write it down. And
are you betting against the Rangers?
No, don't bet the mortgage. I'm just no, Phillies Brewers. Sunday night baseball tonight.
Oh my.
Aaron Nola on the hill.
Wait. Well, it's not September, so I guess you could be okay with that.
Against the left-handed pitcher. Eric Lauer pitching tonight for those Brewers. Phil's hit left-handed pitching. And they're going to bounce back and win this series at home. So minus 170 is the number. Phils are favored in this game. Also tells you a little bit of something. I like Nola and the Phils tonight.
The rubber match. I mean, we had a bunch of rubber matches last year on our Sundays for sure. My last pick for this week, I'm taking the Cubs to beat the Pirates to split the 4-game set. The Pirates won Thursday and Friday. I also have a great one for Can You Believe It in regards to that game yesterday when the Cubs blew them out 21-0. We were watching on the scoreboard and I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's 13. 15, 17, 18. Pittsburgh's a terrible team. They're not going to take 3 of 4 at Wrigley Field. Minus 164. JT Brubaker is pitching today, too. He stinks. He's going to get slapped all around Wrigley Field. So I'm going to take that as well. Can you believe it, Slash? First time we get to hear the sounder on a Sunday morning in the 2022 season. Oh, man. We need something like that to start off the show, you know, like really get it going here. Real quick, Adam Leffler, congratulations for the 2 tickets. Send your email address over to Sam, and I'll forward you the tickets later on this evening. Thank you so much for playing the game, and hopefully you might get another pair or 2 out of us this season like Mike Davis did last year. Season tickets courtesy of Green Legion Radio if you follow Bud Light Baseball Brunch. 2 things that we found interesting from this past week in Major League Baseball. Murph, give me your first one.
All right, well, you just mentioned it. The Reds, they've lost 11 consecutive games. But how about this? They've lost 11 consecutive games by multiple runs. It's the longest streak in the month of April in Major League Baseball history.
Wow.
The games aren't even close. This Reds team is not good. You heard Nick Castellanos' thoughts on what he thought about what the Reds did in this offseason, probably this week. So it's a bad situation in Cincinnati, which is a shame because it's a great baseball town.
Trade Votto.
They're eliminated from playoff contention already.
First pitch and the season's over. We were just talking about the Cubs and the Pirates. So the Cubs finished with 23 hits in their most lopsided shutout win dating to at least 1901. Their 21 runs were their most since scoring 26 at Colorado on August 18th, 1995. And their 21-run margin was their largest since beating the Boston Braves 24-2 on July 3rd, 1945.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. I saw one very similar to that. There's so many things you can pull out of that Cubs game yesterday, or as we were saying on the air yesterday, the Bears-Steelers game.
Yes.
In shutout fashion. But, it's just a crazy, crazy game. What's great about baseball, right? Because you know what? You watch, and I know this goes against what you're saying. Pirates come back, win today, 2-1, right? I mean, it could happen.
Just give me your second. Just give me your second. Can you believe it? Don't get me riled up, man. We're almost to the end here.
All right. Mike Trout recorded his 21st career multi-home run game, breaking a tie with Tim Salmon and Vladimir Guerrero for most in Angels history. Wow. Not really a can you believe it? It's just as a matter of time kind of thing.
I got a can you believe it? It also involves Vladimir Guerrero, but it also involves his son. Through 350 career games, Vladimir Guerrero Sr., 208 runs, 404 hits, 71 home runs, and 221 RBI. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 215 runs, 381 hits, 76 home runs, 221 RBI. It's insane what goes through the blood flow there for sure. Murph, the week that's ahead. So we have the rubber match tonight on Sunday Night Baseball against the Brew Crew. And then the Colorado Rockies come to town for 4. And then we hit the road, man. We got a big series next weekend in Queens. Man, I know we don't want to overlook anything going in, but man, I'm already looking personally as a fan. I'm looking at next weekend. You need to make up some ground, and that series against the Mets is going to be huge.
Yeah, you need to win the series. That certainly would go a long way. And I think kind of, regaining a little bit of swagger against the Mets and also swagger on the road, which is important. And in the standings in the NL East, it's early, plenty of time. There's no concern. But yeah, winning the series would be great. But how about exacting a little revenge against the Rockies first?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That'd be awesome, especially after they took 2 or 3 against us in Colorado, which we have not succeeded in Colorado, I think, since 2012, which is insane to think about. But Murph, thanks for joining us today. Always a pleasure, and Slash for being in studio. Sam, back home. This is Bud Light Baseball Brunch, and like a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard. We are out of here, baby. And everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and let's go Phillies.
Clear. Show as always, gentlemen.
Great job, Murph.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. You too. Hopefully, I enjoy everyone.
Streamline with my struggles early on.
Yeah, it's all good, man. We burned about 20 seconds at the beginning of the show, but it's okay.
What's that? Yeah.
Flash, you nailed it, brother. Good work.